Welcome back. This is my best week ever. I'm super excited about how it went. For the first time ever, I had a video explode on TikTok. We got another trial. They haven't canceled yet. Keeping our fingers crossed. And we started some paid ads, which I'm feeling pretty optimistic about. If you're new here, I'm Grayson. I'm a developer. I've been a developer for about 6 years, but I've always wanted to start something of my own that makes real revenue. So that's what we're working on Recipe PT. It's a recipe app that has a memory that can bring up old recipes that you maybe forgot about and has like catered suggestions for things you want to cook. We're on the road to $1,000 a month in MRR. Right now we're at $0, but we've had some real momentum this week that has really given me some optimism. Okay, so analytics. We'll start at the top of the funnel, and that is our page views of our recipept.com. So this week we saw 83 total page views there. Most of them are around the main page, which is pretty good. Like that's what we want people to see. We did have, I think, 3 or so blog hits, which is pretty good. Hopefully that's just like compounding or starting to compound. Last week we had a significantly higher number, but then again, I was posting to Reddit and all that stuff. So a lot of those were super low intent, which ideally, you know, the ones that we have now are going to be higher intent. We also have about 50 of the views coming from Pinterest. So there's a clear, huge jump since we started running that campaign, which makes total sense. You know, it's cost per click, so they're going to drive a lot of clicks to that. Then down in the funnel, we have impressions on our app. Those are up, but they're not really significant. We have 131 impressions week over week, whereas prior to that we had 17, but this is because we're running Apple search ads. A ton of those impressions just came from that. I wouldn't really index on this being an increase. We'll see this drop down next week. That's expected. Hopefully it's above 17. We're gonna kind of compare those over, avoid the middle ones. For product page views, we averaged 6 per day, which is, that one also kind of spikes around the Apple ads. So I think those, I'm not super paying a lot of attention to those either. All right, so this week, our downloads, we had 9 downloads. Now 2 of those came from Apple search ads, so I'm really counting 7 organic downloads. I don't believe any of them have come from Pinterest yet, and I think the 7 have just come from a combination of Apple search and TikTok. So I'm happy to see that number kind of go up, and 9's a really good number. We also had 1 trial start, so hopefully we kind of continue around that range of 10%. 10% download to trial start rate would be absolutely fantastic and would certainly be something that we could build off of. All right, so let's talk about the video that exploded and what actually happened this week with TikTok. So as I said last week, I was copying this guy who posts these like workout videos, and they have like a cute mascot and they give like workout tips, and then at the end they like plug their app. So I tried the exact same thing with my little pop mascot. I tried the little 5 tips, and the first post I make, it gets 1,000 views, which for me is easily 3 to 4 times what my other posts are doing. So I'm already like, oh, this is a format I want to like lock in on. So I start making more of those images. I post them, and like within like 2 days later, I get one that hits like 5,000 views. Then I get like another 5,000 view one, and like another one. So it was like very quick that I hit the stride and was able to get like consistent videos that are hitting like 5,000 views and quite a few likes. Like previously to this, I was getting like no engagement, no likes, no profile views, no followers, no nothing. So I did all that, and I'm getting like a ton of engagement. All right, so once I kind of realized that, it made total sense. Like, if you're not providing any value to your users, if they're not getting any entertainment value, any educational value out of your content, they're not gonna stick around. The hook and demo is essentially a trick. It tricks them into staying 3 seconds to the content, so the algorithm thinks that it's like a viral, ish video. And then the demo is just like a trick to see an ad, right? And they're just not getting any value out of this, so it's really hard to get that working because it's just completely antithetical to like the way that TikTok even works. So with this like tip-based content, right, the users are actually getting value out of it. So once they get to the end, like they don't mind an ad, and the ad doesn't take away from their engagement because it's the last slide, right? What I'm seeing from this is that like we're really consistently able to get quite a lot of views, quite a lot of likes, quite a lot of saves, which I think is really interesting. Like people are saving this, and like I think of this as an ad. People are saving an ad, so they're gonna come back to it and see the app over and over and over. I'm getting like hundreds of saves now at this point. So I think it's fairly clear like this is the better direction to go in the future. Now I want to talk about one of the pitfalls though that I've seen of this system, and it's that without 1,000 followers on TikTok, you can't have a link in your bio. So what that means is these users can see the ad, they can go to my profile, but they can't click into the app. And because of that, that drop off is massive. Like we're seeing like hundreds of profile views, but we're not seeing many website visits from that. And that's kind of obvious. Like you're not oftentimes going to like go look at a website on a TikTok and then type it into your search bar and then go that way. Like that's just too high of a hurdle. So what did I do to try to fix the link issue? Well, TikTok has a system where you can promote videos and you can have a goal in mind for the video. And one of those goals is more followers. So I looked at what they were projecting, the range they were projecting for spending like $30 or something like that. And they said they could give me, I think 800 to like 2,000 followers. And you know, like adding 800 pretty much gets me there. So like I would be really happy with that, spending $30. So I went ahead and tried that out. One thing I learned is those numbers are not accurate at all. That minimum 800 followers turned out to actually be 200 followers. So not close at all to what TikTok's estimates were. That just means that like, it's still probably too expensive for me to just like buy my way up to 1,000 followers. I'm gonna keep posting organic content and slowly, hopefully we'll get there. And that'll, you know, snowball once we get that link in the bio. I also paid for some other ads this week, or paid for. I had an Apple credit for $100 for Apple search ads. So I put those to work. I put those to work on a bunch of different keywords. We spent $44 and it was a disaster. We had $44 spent and 2 downloads. So that's $22 per download. That's like so terrible. I don't know if it's my keywords. I think it's gotta have a little bit of bearing on it's gotta be a little bit because of my keywords, as well as like my screenshots. So what I did is I decided to redo my screenshots completely and do an A/B test there. We'll see how that works out. I redid my video. I have a new video as well. Hopefully those, once they're kind of running, we can see if that's a better format, and then maybe we can retry Apple search ads. And then, as I said, we're starting Pinterest ads. Pinterest ads I'm really optimistic about because I think on Pinterest, it really matches like our ideal customer profile. You know, it's often a person looking for recipes. So I think that would do really well on Pinterest. Right now, what we've seen is a 77-cent cost per click, but it's just been running for 1 day, so it'll continue to learn. The 77-cent cost per click though is kind of feels pretty good to me. Like I feel like I can convert that down the funnel. I mean, even if you assume that maybe that's 10 clicks per download, we're still looking at $7 per download, which like beats Apple out of the water like crazy. So what we're gonna do is like keep running this. Apparently cost per click should go down over time. And so hopefully, you know, we can get that even lower and we can kind of optimize our funnel from there. But I'm really optimistic about that channel. My ad creatives are they're gonna be running at $30 a day for it's planning on a month. So we'll see how that works. So what we're gonna do, what our plan is just, this is gonna be an optimization period. We're gonna have ideally a lot of eyes, at least on our top of funnel. And so we can adjust our funnels down the way. So where are we right now? Well, I'm really excited about our future here. I'm really happy to see that TikTok has finally started to produce some results. I think if we can aim towards getting 1,000 followers on TikTok, that would unlock a huge amount of traffic to our site and hopefully to download our app. Our Pinterest ads also, I think, are gonna really help us. Those are gonna be buyers who are really close to our ideal customer profile, I think. So ideally, we're gonna be able to make sure our funnel works all the way from our app landing page all the way down to our paywall. So we should hopefully be able to get that kind of flywheel going on the trial starts with Pinterest. I think that will be a good metric there. But I'm really optimistic. I'm really glad to see downloads up. Next week, if we have a good amount of downloads, what we'll do is we can look into how our paywall is performing, where people are dropping off, what our conversion rate's looking like. If we get another, 9 downloads, then we should have a good sample size to actually start to assess how our paywall is doing. But overall, it's looking pretty good, looking pretty optimistic. We still have that trial that hasn't churned yet, so hopefully next week I have some good news around that, but I'll see you next week.